we as a nation, we have been dishonest. The feeling brings tears in your eyes that what you thought of Pakistan to be, Pakistan is absolutely very, very different from that. And as a matter of fact, today there are so many things that you lack. A country bases primarily with its strength on two factors. First, that is culture and language. While working with business and industry, I realized one thing very strongly, and that was very true at the same time. The business community didn't have enough knowledge of writing and reading. If they had to make an appeal to the government, and industrialists had to make an appeal to the government for a certain demand, they didn't know how to prepare an appeal. They didn't know actually how to and where to send this appeal, and they didn't know how to follow it up. So actually I met them and told them that this is one area where we can help you. The Chamber of Commerce, Karachi Chamber of Commerce, Federation of Chamber of Commerce, Textile Association, CARTI, and this and that. Everywhere they started appreciating, and there were demands in dozens that will you kindly prepare a draft on this subject for me, and this draft on this subject for me. And not only they used to pay money, but at the same time, they wanted that this should be published. So that's how investment marketing came into being. And with the passage of time, the first year and the second year and third year, so on and so forth, it became so popular that as a matter of fact, we started publishing special numbers. The first great special number that I published, or we published, was Shipping and Shipping Industry in Pakistan, which was presented to Field Marshal Ayub Khan. I gave it to him and he said, "Young man, how do you manage to do this? How many people do you have working with you?" I said, "About 25, 30 people. My God, I have 1,000 people working for me, but I can't get result. I can't get a result." And I have published at least 200 special numbers on different subjects, besides covering the daily economic and financial news at the same time. I published an issue on investment opportunities in Azad Kashmir. That was the first time anybody actually took the initiative to write about Azad Kashmir and the investment opportunities there. I presented that to Ziaul in Muzaffarabad, and he announced a huge cash award to me. And as a matter of fact, that became so popular that the Muntazim-e-Ala used to call them. Today they call him the Azad Kashmir Prime Minister, but at that time they were called Muntazim-e-Ala. He said that I will come and visit your house. I will come and address a gathering of good people in Karachi. So he came to my house with all pomp and show. So that way, actually speaking, the special numbers became very popular. And every industry wanted that there should be a special number about that industry. I tell you, When you become a good singer, you get a call from hundreds of people to come and sing for me. If you become a good publisher and give reward, bring reward to the concert people, they come to you. There has been regular contract of advertising from every bank without our asking. There has been regular advertising from big businessmen like Unilever and this and that, Gul Ahmad. As a matter of fact, our boys never used to go to them. Even sometimes one telephone call from me was enough. As a young man of 13 or 14, it is very difficult to understand the complete implication of the partition of India at that time and the demand of Muslims for a homeland like this Pakistan. At that time, Pakistan was also not well conceived in terms of size and in terms of accommodation of the new population which was actually pouring out of India to Pakistan. So as a young man, I stayed behind for quite some time. I did my education in the Patna University, honors, and then as a matter of fact, I started looking for higher education. In the meantime came a kind of huge attractive advertisement on behalf of Indian Railways. So Indian Railways is a big organization, well built, well conceived, and well managed. And as a matter of fact, in India, the cheapest and the most efficient transportation source is railways. I also applied for that job and I was selected. A friend of mine, Kalimur Rahman, Dr. Kalimur Rahman, he decided to come to Pakistan. And his mother asked me, will you kindly go and see him off at the last station of India to enter into Pakistan. So I went to see him off. What happened actually, the last train which started from Munabao to go to Pakistan, crossing the Khokhra Par, all the people who were going to Pakistan, they all gathered together in the train. And as a matter of fact, I bade him goodbye. And some of the people sitting in the train said that you are a young man, what are you doing? You are not coming with us? I said, no, I'm going back. No, you are gone mad. Come and join us. I don't know what happened. It was just a kind of a freak of emotional upsurge that actually I went inside the train and the train started. And I was there on the way to Pakistan without any kind of planning, any kind of, things and suitcases and clothes and this and that. And there I reached Karachi. Reaching Karachi was kind of a feeling that you have come inside almost heaven. You felt you are in heaven. Not that the place was heaven, it was the feeling that mattered. Educated people are highly qualified. They can do wonders for the country, but the country doesn't let them do it. How many people have come to Pakistan, worked for some time, and they left back? Why is there a kind of a race to run away from the country? You get a gathering of 100 boys and girls and ask them, where do you like to study now? And each one of them I fear and I feel may be true, each one of them will say that they will go to a foreign country for a foreign education, and as a matter of fact, 90% will stay on there, they will never return back, because they will find the comfort of living, the comfort of ethics, the complete, easy life going rule of law. You do a mistake, you get the punishment. Here, as a matter of fact, every day on the television you find that people commit murders and they commit rapes and they commit all sorts of bad things, immoral things, but either through political pressure or money pressure, they are not punished. So what we have actually lost completely is the rule of law. The law is there. For every mistake or crime, there is a punishment. But it is all in the book, and nobody actually follows the book and all that. I personally feel that this will depend on two things. One, the progress of this country. Two, a decency in politics. Ethics and honesty in the purpose for which you start a political party. If you actually don't do that, your conscience will always prick you and you will never be able to achieve the target, the purpose. The best thing that I value is the respect and the good words that your friends and your people who know you, they speak about you. Nobody has even today called me names. So that way, as a matter of fact, the greatest satisfaction that I have not wasted my time.